Okay.
Here's all your clubs.
It works. So stupid. It's stupid.
It is stupid.
It's stupid.
It is stupid.
I feel angry and thrilled all at once. Dude, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is, you know what you're doing. I feel like you might know what you're doing.
There might be a chance.
There's an inkling that you might know what you're doing.
So do you notice if, like, when an iron shot hits the green, it kind of like sucks back, or does it just stop?
It generally just stops. So I'm not
So it's not too much.
No, it's not. So this is a swing issue. Obviously, it's a lot of side spin often, where it's like I'm hitting a big sweeping draw or something. You know. And these, I got them right after the driver fitting, because you told me that my shafts were way too soft for me. So I was like,
what were you having before?
I had this TaylorMades. And they were stiff, but you said that they were like on the way low end of stiff even, and you were like, you need an extra stiff in your irons as well.
Okay.
And so I went and got these.
Nice. Well, we're probably at least closer with the shaft option, so that's good. At least, I mean, it would have probably been a crazy difference compared to what you were using prior.
Yes.
Like, what do you expect the irons to do? Like you mentioned left, is that what you're kind of
So yeah,
seeing?
I play a cut with my driver, and then definitely with my shorter irons, it's almost always a draw, straight or draw.
Okay.
Longer irons I will fade, like I'll fade a 4 or 5 iron.
Okay.
I don't even try to, it's just sort of that's the natural ball flight with it.
Okay.
I was saying to him on the way over, I never try to cut a short iron anymore, because so like my bad miss is a shank. Like I will catch the hosel.
Nice.
And it's like when I try to cut a shorter iron, I feel like it's 1 in 5 I'll shank.
Okay.
So it's like so I never try it anymore. I'm just like, all right, I'll try to hit it straight. I'm not bringing that possibility into play, kind of thing. It makes me think, when I was heel biased on the driver, I'm like, maybe I'm heel biased on the irons, and I'm flirting with that even on my good ones, kind of thing. So I mean, that's one thing. And then when I play well, I hit a very straight ball.
Okay.
You know, and so I'm like, if I could do that more often,
That'd be
obviously
nice.
that's what I want to do.
All right. Well, let's hit a few shots with your 7 iron, just seeing what happens. Just as a reminder, light solid green means you're good to go.
All right.
And then after you hit and the ball finishes rolling out, you can reload another ball in the same spot and do it again.
All right.
Big thing for me is let me know if you feel like you hit a good one or a bad one. I do know
Yeah.
what a good or bad swing is. I'm curious what you think a
Sure.
good or bad swing is.
Sure.
Okay?
All right.
All right. Let's take a few whacks and see what happens. There's one fly in here, Anthony. I know. No, me too. How far would you expect the 7 iron to go typically?
When I pull it, I expect it to go over 180.
Yeah.
And I expect it to be high 170s if I hit it straight. If I hit it straight.
Well, believe it or not, I already see a flaw here, but it might be actually an adjustment I can make on the current irons. So,
What kind of flaw are we talking about?
you hit a few more and I'll show you.
Yeah.
Flaw with Adam's personality.
Well, you know. I mean, I can watch you hit 20 of these things, and I'm just gonna keep seeing the same results.
Yep.
And in a fitting, I don't like to waste a lot of swings
Sure.
on like clubs that I already know are slightly off. Like first swing, I'm like, ooh, that's not quite right.
Yeah.
So why are we even attempting this?
Love to hear that.
So we look at strike location on the club face.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely consistently heel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's surprise, right?
Yeah, I'm shocked. As a ball goes 45 degrees right.
I can't believe that happened. So the heel strike makes sense. So if you look at lie angle of the golf club, like this is pretty much what's causing it right out of the gate. And that's why I said I can make an adjustment to this club. So I'm actually going to take this in the back room and bend it a little flatter and have you try it, and we'll just see what adjustments it makes. Because if I can fine-tune your current equipment and make it really good, we'll try other stuff. But if we make this really good and that's the only thing that's different, that saves you a ton of money.
I like saving money.
Yeah.
Huge fan of saving money.
And then you can spend money on other fun stuff, like accessories.
I love it.
I can tell because you have head covers.
I do.
We might as well update more newer head covers.
That's right. That's right.
I have more head covers than golf clubs. So
That's, you know what? That's useless. That's useless. You got to be able to switch it up.
So this lie angle thing dictates a few different things.
Right.
Okay. So if we look at golf club, if we're trying to hit the center of the face, your toe is coming up pretty consistently.
Yep.
And when I move the toe up, where does the strike go onto the face?
Right.
Low towards the heel. Where are your misses?
Right. They're all
Low towards the heel.
right.
So that's a big indicator. Lie angle also dictates. So anytime you adjust any adjustment with a golf club, we're looking at three main factors: how the club interacts with the ground, where the ball is interacting with the face, and most importantly, where the ball flight's going. Right. So it'd be nice to get these two really perfect. But the thing that I care most about for most amateur golfers is making sure the ball's going straight.
Sure.
So if these numbers are slightly off, but we're hitting the ball dead straight, for most people, they'd love that because then they don't have to practice as much to be able to be more consistent.
Sure.
I mean, if we had enough time to dedicate like hours every single day, then it's like, yeah, we'll make this perfect.
Right.
That's hard to do. I mean, golf's already hard enough.
Yes.
So if the heel is interacting with the ground, one big flaw with that is when you look at the golf club, which side of the club's bigger, toe or heel?
Right.
Toe's bigger, right? So you're getting the smallest part of the club interacting with the ground. That doesn't sound too good.
Right.
So that thing's going to just wobble a lot, all right? And a lot of times when heel interacts with the ground, I see it shut the face and the miss goes more left. We look at your ball dispersion. Where do your misses go?
They're all left. Almost all left.
Occasionally,
occasionally I'll like block one, but it's
you're
like
trying to compensate.
Right, because it's like I'm trying not to flip, but I'm trying to time all that.
But this thing is actively trying to shut the face. So you and the club are fighting each other. Right?
Yeah.
So
I've felt like that for 25 years. So that's that makes sense to me.
So it plays a big role. It changes where you hit on the face. We saw really consistent strikes on the face, and we see really inconsistent ball flight.
Right.
Professionals talk about trying to hit a window in the sky, and you're like everything but the window. You're a rainbow in the sky, right? So a lot of different peak heights. So hopefully with the right combination, we can get this a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally it's on top of each other.
Right.
Sometimes swing can cause different things, but I think we can create some consistency because next I look at what your swing is doing. You are consistently into out. You're 6 degrees into out with a standard deviation of 1 degree, right? So that means think of 1 degree plus or minus, right? So 90% of the time, plus or minus, you're 1 degree.
Right.
So if your club is coming in the same spot within 1 degree, 90% of the time, wouldn't we expect one strike location to be the same? Okay, cool, we did that.
Right.
So shaft might be okay for you, which we kind of assume so, right?
Yep.
But then I would also expect ball flight to be the same. But if the club is actively going like this, you're making it really hard.
Yep.
Not saying you can't hit it straight. We saw some straight ones.
Right.
But typically when I see that toe, and you can see you're averaging 3.5 degrees toe up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Typically when I see that lie angle more toe up like that, I see club face being an issue, and you could be hand flipping. You could. I don't think you're hand flipping as much as you think you are. I think you see the different shots and you're like, I must have hand flipped because that's the only thing I know.
Right.
And it's the golf club actively twisting as it interacts with the ground. And good luck. So I'm going to go in the back and see what the lie angle of this is because we don't even know yet.
Right.
And then I'm going to bend it a little flatter from what it is.
Yep.
We'll try it and then see what happens.
I'm in.
Okay?
All right. Interesting.
How are you feeling right now?
Good. I feel real good. Yeah. I felt this last time too. Like the whole thing where it's like your swing is consistent. You're doing the same thing every time.
Yeah.
That's encouraging by itself.
Yeah.
And then it's like, so yeah, let's make something fit that. Love that.
Yeah.
What's not to love? Just bend it with my
So
hand.
fun times.
Okay.
This club was already bent 1 degree upright, so it was
Okay.
already going this way, like it was bent
Interesting.
from standard. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I adjusted it. I adjusted it 3 degrees flatter. So
Okay.
now when you set up with it, it's
Yep.
gonna sit like when you set it down on the ground,
Yep.
it's gonna look like the toe's sitting a lot more down than it was before.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
So it's definitely gonna look a little differently.
It just looks like it looks like the hossel's out of the way. I'm not even joking. That's what it looks like. I'm like,
Yeah,
when
it's more toe up, the only part that's looking down at the ground is just the heel. So you're
right.
looking at
I
the
just
heel.
look. I look and I'm like the heel, the hosel just sticks out and I can see it and I'm like, don't hit it. You know, it's like.
Dude, typically when a club's too upright, I just see heel misses all day long. So you're just promoting that thing. Oh wow! On the first one, it didn't go left. It's like fitting can help.
I went further too a little bit, more than a straight or right one normally does.
If the club's not interacting with the ground properly, I also typically expect like club head speed to drop and stuff. Your average club head speed was 92 before. That was 95 there. So you came through the ground with better contact.
Didn't slow me down on the way through.
Bingo. I mean, hey, that little bit in golf, for years everyone said golf's a game of inches.
Right.
It's degrees and millimeters.
Right.
I mean, you just hit 2 in a row in the same spot.
That's crazy.
Okay, look at the difference there. That's where you just hit it.
I
Lie
like that.
angle is a lot better,
I like that.
right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call perfect, but remember, where ball goes dictates everything, right? So it's like, oh, well, we said toe down would be the really big difference.
Right.
This is a CB iron. It's really small from toe to heel, so it's going to be harder to make that thing be toe down if that's what you actually need.
Right.
We might need something that's a longer head or something that has tungsten out on the toe to make the toe go more down, ultimately. So we'll look at it as we go.
Yep.
But right out of the gate, lie angle being a lot better, stabilized face, keep it a little bit more open. Club head speed, we didn't change anything, right? Your fastest club head speed before was 93.8. You just swung 94.
That's stupid. That's stupid that my swing speed.
So we just gained club head speed without. I mean, that's the dream, right? I want to swing faster with less effort. Well, if you can just change the club because you interact with the ground better, cool. And then you went from averaging 11 millimeters on the heel. The closest you were to center before was 8 millimeters. That was 2. It's not that you can't hit heel now, but the thing is if you take this, your center and your closest to center was 8 millimeters, and now we're 2 millimeters. Now when you do the one offline, when you went from 8 to 14, now you go from 2 to 8. So the same difference is now your worst one is what your best one was.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's.
I'm sorry you waited this long.
I know. I'm angry. I feel.
Maybe those two were an anomaly.
I feel angry.
Yeah, I would like to see 5 because you hit, or 4 because you hit 4 good ones with yours. Nope, doesn't look like an anomaly to me. Are you getting bored of hitting the same spot?
I will never get bored of it. Never.
That was 0 millimeters heel, so you were center.
There is a sweet spot to this club. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Well, the good news is you
Cool
wore out
beans.
the heel, so
Right.
it's like a brand new club now.
Right. That was chunky.
What normally happens when you chunk it?
It goes left.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You went left.
How
1.2 yards left. Let's hit one more with it. I could play that chunk shot.
All right. That's stupid.
So I'm gonna take out the chunk, right?
Yep.
Like it happens. The good news is it went a lot less offline than it did before
Yeah.
when you chunked it. Here's your yards offline from before, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna delete the really big pool that you did with the previous one,
Yep.
and then the one that you chunked with this one.
Yep.
We look at yards offline, 20 yards offline, straight, 20 yards offline, right. Yay, that sounds like fun.
Yep.
11 yards right, and then you start trusting, oh wow, it's not going left.
Oh yeah, I aimed that one. Like that's alignment because I'm used to coming
So I
over
find
like
a
that.
lot- Look at your carry distances before and your peak heights before, right?
Right.
There's only 2 shots that went through the same window. They were the straight ones, but then you missed it. It was like, bye-bye. Look at the peak heights over here.
Right.
So you went from 109 with a standard deviation of 13 feet for 122 with a standard deviation of 3. So that leads to more consistent carry yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And remember, we look at that window through the sky.
Yep.
Holy crap, there might be a chance. Right? So now let's go to the comparison screen so we can see the two. Obviously, same exact club. All we did was bend it 3 degrees flatter than what yours was. So now it's 2 degrees flat by standard.
Yeah.
And there's your dispersion differences. We gained you 7 yards of difference, and that dispersion circle is what, 1/10 of what it was before? That's crazy.
It's wild.
Look at your club head speed. It's 3
That-
miles per hour faster
That's
now.
the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard is the swing speed thing.
So we
I get it, but it's like I just wouldn't have even thought that was
With
conceivable.
all that being said, are there still areas for optimization when you look at these numbers, or
hard to beat that. It's really, really hard to beat that.
Yeah.
Also,
Do you think there's a lot of technology increase in this type of club in the last 10 years?
yes, because they add more tungsten and stuff
Okay.
into clubs,
Yeah.
right? Even in the smaller heads. Now, with all of that being said, is it a difference where it's worthwhile to buy a whole new set where it costs a ton of money?
Right. Right.
At that point, I think it's more vanity than actual usefulness on a golf course, and then it's up to you if that usefulness is worth it.
Right.
Right? I mean, yes, my job is to sell golf clubs, but on the same token, my number one thing is to get people to play better golf. So buying clubs yearly, even though, yes, it could help the golf industry for selling clubs,
Sure.
it actually wouldn't help any golfers. I would never, ever, 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 ever recommend doing that.
Right.
That'd be such a bad idea. Unless you just buy something and it's totally wrong for you, then you should get fit.
Sure.
Right? But once you get fit, you're good for a while. So with all of that being said, it comes down to you at the end of the day. Like, do you really, like you said early on, like, if I could keep these clubs and we just make an adjustment and it works better,
Yeah.
you know, there it is.
Would you expect the same thing to go through the wedges as well? Like if
Oh, yeah.
like do you think like so I've just got I think standard Vokies
Oh,
and
Jesus, no.
and those will be
I'd rather bend every club in your bag today than do anything else because, so wedges too, you're not swinging as fast as you do. Like you're not supposed to be swinging wedge 100% like a 7.
Right.
You're supposed to be doing more partial swings. So with that being said, if you're not swinging as quick, you're just going to see less of that toe down effect end up happening. So wedges, I mean, for most people, if I fit someone for standard lies, I'm probably bending at least some of their wedges a little flat. So if we're bending your irons 2 degrees flat, you need those wedges to be at least 2 degrees flat, if not more. If you want to try just 1 or 2 new clubs just so you can see what they feel like, you're here, might as well. It's fun trying stuff.
Yeah.
But my recommendation right now would most likely be sticking with what you got because
my bank account's recommendation also says that.
But so this is a Ping I-230. Head's gonna be a little bigger than what you're used to, but I mean you're playing Titleist CBs, so everything's gonna be bigger than what you got.
I don't think these were available. I got fit into I-525.
I slimmed up the look a little bit. And usually, like,
Ooh, that was
so
thin.
if we were comparing it to what he walked in with, even that would have been a better dispersion out of the gate and better contact. Thing is we adjusted his clubs and made them really good. And the thing is you're used to your clubs.
Right.
So you're used to, I adjust lie angle, and if that was the only adjustment you really needed to make, which it looks like it really was, it makes sense that it was like, oh, this is amazing and really tight dispersion. If you had a month with any of the clubs I gave you, you'd probably be able to do the same dispersion. But we're probably not going to be able to match that.
This is primarily so it's my highest bounce wedge by far. So I use it for full swings, and then any fluffy lie around the green, I'm pitching with it.
So we got some awareness of bounce and grind.
A little bit, not really conceptually, more just like bullet points. Like, hey, this is what I do.
And you said 105, 110.
Yeah, that's what I guess.
Well, we're gonna find out. I'd take that shot. Yeah. Man, it looks a whole lot like your dispersion of the 7-iron originally. 1 went straight, 2 was a little left, and then 2 were way left.
Way left.
And I mean, yes, they're all on the green,
but that's a big miss from 110 yards.
That's my concern, right? Now, this is at least standard off the rack. Your irons were 1 degree upright from standard. Right? So this is actually closer to where it needs to be, and that's why the results aren't as penalizing. If these were 1 degree upright, then you'd be flirting with the hosel, just like the irons and all of that. So I'm going to bend it 2 degrees flat.
All right.
Just like we did with that.
Yep.
With that, we bent 3 degrees flat, right, to get it to 2.
Yep.
We'll start there. We'll look at ball flight, and we can always change.
Yep.
You good with me having one of my employees bend the rest of them?
Yes, 100%. Like, it looks like to me, like visually, like, oh, the hosel's gone. Got it.
I can actually see like the whole face.
I can see the whole face of the club.
Oh, go in the hole. How about go in the hole? Ooh. Those 2 shots looked identical to me.
No, that one was 1 yard longer. What are you talking about?
This is ridiculous.
I need something more precise. Those were identical. They started at the same spot on the screen.
Yeah. So believe it or not, you might be consistent at this game.
Jeez.
Well, let's look at that dispersion difference. That was fun. Yeah.
I'm going to feel stupid when I do. Let's not look at it.
Well, there you go. Look at that dispersion compared to before.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
And by stupid, I mean the opposite of stupid. I don't know why stupid's the word I'm using.
Same club.
Same club.
I want to know what you do the next time you play golf. And
they're all going the exact same distance.
Yeah.
It's 106 to 108.
Oh, that is tug 1 yard left.
That's unfortunate. That one he swung faster at.
Yeah, I did.
And you do the partial swing and you keep doing the same thing. Like, there's your miss. That's just leaving it open. But I think that's compensating for the last one.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's
it was.
So the only thing that might end up hurting you on the golf course initially is you might miss some to the right, and that's just you compensating for the old setup. that's playing golf, right?
Right.
You determine.
Yeah, that's wild.
So I've bent the other 2 degrees flatter as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back and continue bending the rest of the clubs.
It's miraculous. The whole thing is miraculous. Chunky. Did it get? Yeah, it's there. Yeah. It's a good miss. It's a good miss. That's wild. It's just a lot of good wedges in a row. That's stupid. I'm gonna keep saying it's stupid. I don't know why. That's what, but it feels that way.
I mean, your furthest shot offline you hit there was 4.7 yards offline from 120 yards out. I mean...
Yeah, that's good. That's better than I normally do.
I think that's better than pretty much everyone I see normally do. So that's pretty good, dude. I like that.
I'm a fan.
I mean, every shot you hit was 120 with a standard deviation of 2. Like, that's what we want.
Right, the distance control?
Yep. You can hit the 7 iron. I'll
Okay.
be right back.
Okay. That'll work. I just set that up closer to like more center.
Sorry if you guys play against each other, though. I apologize, Brian.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
It's unbelievable. It's just ridiculous. This is the pitching wedge?
Yep.
Brian, the pitching wedge and 9 iron look so different.
Really?
It's crazy. Like looking down at it. Yeah, it's like a different club.
Like that.
Don't doubt the pitching wedge anymore.
That's right.
Go in the hole. That's 2 in a row that were 0 yards offline from 140. That was, you had 2 in a row that went exactly 138. Is he gonna do 3? When left the line. Dummy.
I
0.9
missed.
yards offline.
I missed.
You missed it by 2.8 feet.
An increase of infinite. Jeez. Okay.
Here's all your clubs.
It works. So stupid. It's stupid.
It is stupid.
It's stupid.
It is stupid.
I feel angry and thrilled all at once. Dude, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is, you know what you're doing. I feel like you might know what you're doing.
There might be a chance.
There's an inkling that you might know what you're doing.
Safe to say another satisfied customer.
Cool.